Hey, what's up guys? So with the Nexus 5 approaching its third birthday, along with the support for it slowly dying off, I thought what better way of remembering it off but by making a video showcasing just how far the Nexus line and Google as a whole has come. Now, in November of 2013, the Nexus 5 was officially launched. Now, for those who are not familiar about what the Nexus line of devices are, they're essentially Google's take on the best version of Android, the one that's free of carrier and OEM bloatware, and then they pack it into the body of another OEM's hardware, which in the case of the Nexus 5 was LG. Now, going back in time to 2013, the Nexus 5 was arguably the most understated device to launch that year, and for good reason. From very compelling options from both Samsung, HTC, and Apple, Google's Nexus 5 debut definitely took a backseat that year. Now, previously, Nexus devices were more notably known for being popular amongst Android purists, enthusiasts, and of course developers, but they never really caught on with the average consumer. And its previous generation Nexus 4, as great of a phone as it was, it definitely had its shortcomings, most notably the lack of the LTE chip inside, which made it hard to recommend for many consumers, as we did live even then in a data-centric age. Which brings us to the Nexus 5. As much as it didn't make headlines for being the most revolutionary phone, the features it packed in such a budget price range was kind of unheard of at that time. At launch, the Nexus 5 boasted all of the flagship specifications, including 5-inch 1080p display, 2GB of RAM, 16 or 32GB of onboard storage, as well as an 8-megapixel camera, plus other features that even flagship phones that were hundreds of dollars more expensive didn't have, like the latest generation Snapdragon 800 processor, versus the 600 found in the Galaxy S4 and the original HTC One. Now, speaking of its price, this is the area where the Nexus 5 quickly became a favorite amongst many enthusiasts, and at the price of a mere $350 US, compared to the $650 of the other flagships, it quickly began to stir up some real competition in the handset market, and why it became a really wise choice for many consumers too. While it was the performance per dollar king, it also had its flaws. I mean, a device that cost almost half of its flagship competitors would be expected to fall short in some categories, and then with the Nexus 5, it's really no different. Its battery life, most notably, even by those standards, was pretty mediocre, and its camera was far from the best, and its software did have its fair share of bugs at the time launching with the latest generation Android 4.4 KitKat. Now, that doesn't sound too harmonious now, does it? But Google knew that this was their one really good chance at winning over a lot of users, because especially at that time, many were considering migrating over to Android after seeing pretty much stagnant growth from Apple with the iPhone 5S. Therefore, they really put everything they had into making this device fantastic. Now, fast forwarding to today, I am truly impressed of what Google managed to accomplish. While most of the other flagships of that time stopped receiving support from their OEMs, the Nexus 5 still to this day chugs along, running the latest version of Android, Marshmallow, receiving monthly security patches and having countless of other updates before that. And for the most part, Google has done an amazing job in improving this device since day one. The camera, most notably, was improved drastically. It's definitely no iPhone 6s or Galaxy S7 or anything like that, but it's come a really long way. And speaking of which, I will drop a link in the description below if I remember, for an image gallery for the Nexus 5, kind of showcasing some of the images that I took most recently with the latest firmware. Although I don't have any images of when I first got it, as I never really imagined that the picture quality would get any better, but at least you'll have some sort of idea on how it looks like now. Now, battery life has also gotten better since Android 4.4 KitKat, but I haven't seen large improvements. Although Android N has not yet released at the time of making this video, and is said to have a much better implementation of Doze, which is a feature that basically is Android's battery saver, which not only works in when your phone is in deep sleep, but also when it is in just standard standby, and that should definitely increase battery life. But for the most part, I can't really say much about that because I haven't had it, and currently the battery life is just average. I generally get about 3 to 4 hours of screen on time while on Wi-Fi, data turned off, and mostly using social media, and around 2 to 3 hours while on cellular data on the go and with similar usage. Overall, I have never seen a device quite like the Nexus 5. It's not perfect, but then again, what phone really is? And I can honestly tell you that I have never seen a device quite like it that has improved in almost every single way as it has aged. And for that, I have to give huge props to both Google and LG for really tackling the challenge of time and really changing the way I and many of us look at our smartphones. So there you go, guys. No matter if you're camp iOS or Android, there has truly never been a better time to be a fan of mobile technology. I am truly excited to not only see the future of the Nexus line, or whatever they want to call it, but the smartphone industry as a whole. But thank you very much for watching. If you guys stuck right till the very end, you guys are the real MVPs, and I really appreciate it. If you guys like the video, you can go ahead and thumb it up. If you guys dislike the video, you know what to do. You can go ahead and thumb it down. If you love what you're seeing and you want to see more of it, then you can go ahead and subscribe. By the way, sorry for my absence. I know it's been a really long time since I've made my last video, but I'm back. More videos are coming soon. But my name has been Stefan. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all later in the next video. Goodbye.